The government wants to know how you earn 5,000 reais, but manage to pay 10,000 with a credit card. Yet it doesn't care how someone on minimum wage survives paying for electricity, housing, education, groceries, and other expenses. That's the real question. The Lula administration plans to monitor your spending via credit cards and PIX transactions that exceed 5,000 reais for individuals and 15,000 reais for businesses. While it's stated that PIX won't be taxed, many promises have already been broken, like tax exemptions on Chinese imports or improved public services. This new measure primarily targets informal workers like street vendors, Uber drivers, delivery couriers, and other small-scale entrepreneurs who are just trying to make an honest living. These workers, who already live under financial pressure, will now be monitored as if they were major tax evaders. Even pooling money for something as simple as a barbecue could complicate income tax reporting. Micro-entrepreneurs, who make up 70% of businesses in Brazil, are also at risk. In 2025, the income limit for these entrepreneurs will be 81,000 reais annually, around 6,750 reais per month. Many of them don't declare income taxes because they can barely make ends meet as it is. If it's hard to survive without declaring taxes, imagine losing 27.5% of your income to the government. If high taxes provided healthcare, education, and transportation, like in Switzerland, it might be acceptable. But Brazilians pay high taxes and still receive subpar public services. As a result, many people will avoid using credit cards, PIX, or bank transfers to stay off the government's radar. Lula's administration increased its spending on presidential expenses while keeping those transactions under secrecy. Yet they want to strip financial privacy from ordinary citizens and entrepreneurs. The Lula administration plans to monitor your spending via credit cards and PIX transactions that exceed 5,000 reais for individuals and 15,000 reais for businesses. While it's stated that PIX won't be taxed, many promises have already been broken, like tax exemptions on Chinese imports or improved public services. This new measure primarily targets informal workers like street vendors, Uber drivers, delivery couriers, and other small-scale entrepreneurs who are just trying to make an honest living. These workers, who already live under financial pressure, will now be monitored as if they were major tax evaders. Even pooling money for something as simple as a barbecue could complicate income tax reporting. These measures are being framed as fiscal modernization, but their real goal is to take more money from your pocket without improving healthcare, education, or security. What high-quality public service does the government even offer? This policy mainly targets hardworking people, Uber drivers who spend on fuel and maintenance, street vendors trying to support their families, and food delivery workers hustling to meet their goals. The government views their financial movements as surplus income rather than operational costs. If transparency is truly the goal, why not investigate state-owned companies with losses under Lula's administration or the exorbitant spending by his ministers? Why focus solely on the financial activity of ordinary citizens and not on politicians themselves? The real villain, according to the government, is the Brazilian earning 5,000 reais and struggling to survive. Many will likely revert to cash-only transactions to avoid losing even more of their hard-earned money to the government. For now, the opposition is challenging this measure legally and gathering signatures for a bill to prevent this type of financial privacy invasion disguised as transparency. Whether you're left, right, or center, it's time to recognize that if we don't stop Lula, Lula will stop Brazil.